Okay. Hey, and welcome to Breaking Bread, hosted by me, Crunk Chocolate, the show where we break verbal bread with a quote-unquote enemy. Whenever Manchester City has an upcoming match, I will be here having a conversation with a supporter of City's upcoming opponent. Shout out to everybody on Patreon who will enjoy this full episode. Podcast people, YouTubers, please still like, subscribe, rate, review, all of those good things. But you're only going to enjoy the first 10 or so minutes of this. $6 a month. You'll get the glory of the full episode. Fully immerse yourselves in a lot of premium content we have. Tons of fantastic episodes coming out. But today, we have a great episode for you, Shady Gang. Short break from the WSL, and it's time to focus on the Subway Cup. We're going to be talking to the National League champions, put some respect in their name, promoted to the WSL 2 this season. They sit fifth in the league, only 3 points from that third place, and challenging last place WSL squad for a duel for promotion. The last time, if you aren't aware, Forest and City face each other. It was the 2021-22 season in the FA Cup. We will not talk about the scoreline. However, years later, Nottingham will surely have more belief in their squad. Forest beat Newcastle United, who City struggled against, and they took Everton to penalties in their first 2 group matches. Can Forest pull off the upset? To help us learn more about our weekend's opponent, we welcome on Forest Women's Fancast, Shady Gang. Please give it up for Oliver. How are you?
I'm doing well. Doing very well, thank you. How about you?
Yeah, all good. Very excited to have this. First recording of the week, so it's going to be a good one. I will not be any more energized or locked in than the rest of the week, so hopefully you enjoy.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I hope the scoreline is a lot better than last time, but I think it was 8-1. We're a much different team then. With an amateur team, then it's a much different Nottingham Forest now. Not one that's at Manchester City's level, but it's certainly a much improved Nottingham Forest.
Yes, of course. Well, let's start with, before we get into all of the conversations about the game this weekend, let's get to know you and the way that you see football a little bit better. What is something that you think is overrated about football?
See, when I prepared for this, when you say overrated, do you mean something I don't like?
I mean, it's however you deem overrated, because I guess you don't necessarily have to hate something that you think is overrated, but usually it's something that people don't like understand, or they just don't like. Yeah, that's fair.
One thing the one thing that really grinds my gears in women's football is the common misconception that because the WSL is on Sky Sports and it's got much more publicity, it should be at the same level as equivalent men's football leagues, when it's often forgotten, probably willfully, that these girls have got much less development time, much less academy time, much less investment in their lives than Mandy. And what I find really painful to listen to is people use those as a stick to beat the players with, when you've missed out on 30-40 years of the game. It's inevitable.
Yeah, people, unfortunately, hating is the easiest personality trait for most nowadays. Yeah. And so that is very disappointing. And I definitely get people like that, where whenever, because they'll be like, oh, what are you doing? Talk about whatever. And we'd be like, we cover City men and City women. And they're like, women's football, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, hey, I'm just going to tell you now, I actually don't care. Like, just don't like it. Like, I do not want to have this conversation. I don't want to have to try to explain to you why it's great. Yeah, like, if you just don't like it, that's fine. But don't, like, throw your grossness on me. Like, let me live my life. And just being able to watch the growth in the game. We had Steph Houghton on, and that was a really amazing conversation, because she was able to talk about her experience and seeing the game grow as really being a part of the boom. Then also with our podcast, where we've been able to grow and see the game, I guess, grow to this like modern style that it is now. First, I do want to apologize that it is on Sky. I could only imagine the experience there, but we're very lucky because most of the games they're either on YouTube or ESPN is covers a lot of the games here, and just even with the new ownership of WSL, this is their second season, but I can already see the big difference in what, like, from the production value, from the broadcasting standpoint, and it all is like small things. Now they kind of need another, where's that next batch of money going to come to help take the game to the next level, but I think it's doing very well at this moment.
You talk about Steph Houghton, and there's one player, I don't know if she'll play on Saturday, Laura Coombs, who's very well versed in the development of the game, and she actually played for us 15 years ago. She played for Forest. She played for Forest for about 8 or 9 games for us 15 years ago. Like, obviously at the very beginning of her career.
Yeah.
But there's still one connection between the two clubs on Saturday.
I did look that up. I was like, is there any? Because City, especially recently, I feel like there's always a player or two that either they've loaned out to one of the 2 leagues below us, or have gotten players. Like, we've gotten a few players over the last season from those teams as well. But yeah, it was like Laura Coombs forever ago, when I think she was still technically a Chelsea player, but we won't talk about that. Big fans of Coombs over here. Yeah. So I think you probably will see her if she doesn't start. So this is why I'm interested, because it is a big game. It's the last game. If City lose, like, if y'all win, you take over that top spot. That would not be great. So I
wouldn't worry about
that. Anything is possible. And with the break coming up, and then there are going to be 2 more games and another break. So I think Jeggy might be more willing to play a stronger side than I think he did the first couple of games.
Well, I hope so, because I mean, I want to see good players.
That's right.
I'm not, and I've said with Holly before on our podcast that we're not going to win this competition. So to me, it doesn't make any difference whether we go out on Saturday or we go out in the quarterfinals. We're not going to win it. I mean, there's no money in it for us. If we get to the quarterfinals, it's neither here nor there for us. I'd rather us play fewer games and have more time to prepare for WSL2 matches. And I just hope it's not just seen as this big day out for Forest, because actually we've been playing at the City Ground for a while now, and it's our home. And Man City are coming here. It's no different that Man City are coming here than Sunderland, who come here after that. It's just the game for us.
Yeah, business as usual. Nothing really should change, and to get yourself in that mindset where you can be winning the WSL2, or you need to be one of the teams who can inevitably, when you get promoted, I'm gonna put that out there for you, that you handle yourselves better and you feel like you belong there. I mean, we're seeing obviously completely different ownership and money levels, but we're seeing London City Lioness be able to find some sort of success. And I mean, honestly, the worst teams in the WSL right now are teams who have been a part of the WSL. So I think that the whole parity, or in women's football, it's getting better. Like, we're seeing the gap where, I mean, you saw Chelsea draw against Liverpool, who are the worst team in the league, and there were moments where Liverpool looked just as good, if not better, than Chelsea. So I am enjoying that in football, where it isn't so obviously one-sided. Anything is possible.
I mean, the big contrast for us is that we got a result at Everton a couple of weeks ago. We drew 1-1, lost on penalties for the bonus point. Whereas a year and a half ago, I think it was probably coming up to 2 years ago now in January, we had Everton at our place. Well, when we played at Grange Park, which is a non-league ground, we had them at our place before then, and they beat us 7-1. They absolutely smashed us. It was like women against girls. I think at that season, Kerry Keaton was playing at that same level as well for Fylde. I think it was that season where Kira Keaton was playing in Tier 3. And it was just the difference in class was just, it's not just the players on the pitch, it's the years of preparation, it's the years of being a professional football team versus a semi-professional one. It's not really a fair comparison, but we gave them a decent game at Goodison Park a few weeks ago. And I mean, admittedly, a lot of the players like Haley Ladd was on the bench, but we gave the WSL side a really good game, and I think we could probably do that against the likes of Leicester or West Ham or Liverpool.
I love it.
I'm
here for all the I'm here for all the chaos.
It is. I think, I don't think anyone, truth be told, anyone would be expecting us to win the game on Saturday. What I want to see is the players give them a decent match and show that we belong at this level.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. What is something that you think is underrated about football?
For us, academy players, we'll probably get to this later, but we lost our club captain in the summer. She stayed in tier 3 with Wolves, and we don't have any link to our academy anymore. Not in the first squad or anywhere near it, and I think it's vastly underrated. And I think the money that football clubs like Forest have to invest in those pathways, we can actually build strong pathways for academy players to come through and build an identity for Forest. I don't want us to be in a position 5 years down the line when we just bring in more players and more players and more players for the sake of bringing them in.